What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Life's a Garden. Today's guest is an old friend that I used to work with back in the Olive Garden days. He currently works at Express Employment and is also a real estate agent. So if you're looking to buy a home, this is your guy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mark Hardin. Like I said, man, long time no see.
It's been a couple years.
Dude, it has. For anybody who doesn't know, Mark and I used to sling drinks at the old Olive Garden.
Yeah. Good times.
What are you doing now?
So still a realtor. Have my real estate license now, 10 years. And then I'm also a business developer for Express Employment, or staffing company. I just celebrated literally my 3-year anniversary there.
Oh, cool.
So that's been fun. It's been exciting. There's possibility of me buying in and becoming part franchisee. So that's something that we're kind of looking forward to. Hoping it's something that's sooner rather than later. Staffing industry is not fun.
Yeah.
I'm out talking to customers, so I get to go bullshit with people all day. But finding good staff and committed staff that want to go to work and stuff, and then when they don't, it's sad because it makes us feel look stupid to our customers that we're like, yeah, we got these great people, and when they end up being not great, it's not so much fun.
So you're finding you have a list of employers or employees, and then you try and fit them to employers.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. So some people know us as temporary staffing agencies.
Sure.
I've tried to change that name. I think temporary is a negative connotation. So we like the word short term.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
We're short term employment, but really that's a small part of our business. Our business is if Lithia Toyota calls us and they need a detailer, the person that we send is going to end up becoming your full-time employee. But until then, he's my employee. He's my work comp. We pay all the payroll taxes, all that stuff. It's a business expense to whatever company uses us, so it's a nice benefit for them.
Cool. And I'm assuming somebody comes in with a resume saying this is all the things I'm good at, and then you just try and find jobs that fit that.
And what we like to do, because jobs aren't apples to apples. We try to dissect the skills out of the jobs that they've learned, and then match them up with the skills that it takes to be successful at the jobs that we're looking to fill.
Sure.
We have a lot of production plants and assembly plants and warehouses that they're unique skills that you don't ever think you would have experience for or you would succeed at or anything like that. And then you find out that when you just start doing it, you love it. And actually the skills you had from your other jobs translate perfectly, even though it wasn't manufacturing couplers that go at the end of oil rigging pipes. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you on the news the other day. Well, I didn't see it on the news. I haven't watched the news in forever, but I saw the clip.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of cool. They reached out. I think it was Aaron Rivlin who passed away, one of our coworkers. It was the day of her funeral, and I was at the office waiting to go to that. And the news reached out and were like, hey, we have some questions about minimum wage increasing. Would you care if we came and did an interview? Sure, sounds great. And then I'm as I said that and hang up the phone, I'm wait, are they showing up to interview me on camera, or are they just gonna take notes?
Yeah.
And nah, they'll just take notes. They're not gonna bring
write an article or something.
Yeah. Nope, they showed up with a camera crew, and I'm I'm wearing all black. I'm getting ready to go to a funeral, and I wasn't prepared, and it was kind of like this organic conversation, and then they made that clip out of it, which I thought she did a fantastic job. Because we talked about a lot of different things. But what she put together, I was that was perfect. That was it summed up perfectly. So
well, and they're used to doing all that. You probably talk for a good 20 minutes or so, and then they clip it down to 20 seconds.
Yeah. Yep. But that's the best. It was the best. It was the top 10 highlight,
Right.
So.
And that was, what was that? That was referencing like unemployment or?
Well, no, she came in wanting to talk about because we raised minimum wage from
That's right.
$7.95 to like $9.25. It was a pretty big jump. Mm-hmm. And she wanted to know if we had anyone looking that was hiring at minimum wage. And I told her on the phone, I said, our lowest paying job right now is like $15. And she's like, oh, well, I'd come to a story and we could talk about that. I was like, yeah, we could talk about wages. That's kind of that we started out, but it evolved into basically what the new minimum wage should be. And I really do think it should be closer to 15. If you work in any job that you make under that with the price of living and bills, you really need a second job to be able to afford those bills. Hence why I bartended and had real estate license,
Right.
And while I still have a real estate license and still work another job because shit's expensive.
Oh yeah. Well, not just that, but real estate itself is kind of one of those.
Yeah. Hit or miss.
Mm-hmm. How's that been? You've been pretty steady with that, or?
Yeah, I have a couple listings right now, and I had a closing about a month ago.
Nice.
The end of February, I had a closing. One of my good buddies' mom had passed away, and he asked if I could sell their property, and that was an honor, and so we did, and closed, and that was good. Good
Nice.
for everyone involved.
Yeah. Give me a little insight on this housing market thing, because I am clueless. First of all, I'm looking to buy a house here within the next couple years.
I might know a guy.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think I know who I'm gonna talk to, but yeah. So I'm clueless when it comes to like housing prices and like interest rates and all that stuff. Like
Everything's correlated. I mean, as products and services go up, well, so does like labor to make a house, materials to make a house. So all that gets expensive. So then to build a house, that gets more expensive. And let's say it's an existing home. Well, that existing home's worth is based on the comps that have sold around it.
Mm.
So that's what raises those prices of existing homes. And with the higher interest rate, let's say you can afford $300,000 at a 3.5% rate. When it jumps up to 7, you may be able to only afford a $260,000 home because of the difference you'll pay in interest per month. So that's what really, like, the buying power that they talk about, it really hurts. Especially first-time home buyers, it really hurts your buying power because you can't, like, write an all-cash offer. You have to have a loan, and a loan will only they will only pay for what the house is worth.
Mm.
So if it's at $260, and you want it, and you're like, but I'll pay $280, and it only appraises at $260, the bank's only going to loan you $260. So then now you need to come up with another $20,000 somewhere that you weren't planning on coming up with.
Right.
So it really pinches the first-time home buyers right now. People who have had a few homes and have equity, it doesn't hurt them as much. But like I bought my home for $160. Let's say it's worth $360 and I sold it. So say it made $200,000. I couldn't buy my same type of home for $360. Now it would be like $500,000. So now I'm paying more for the same home I had. So that's where they say, like, with interest rates going up and prices going up, that it pinches people.
Sure.
So,
well, there's always a option of renting, I guess, but I'd rather own, man. Like
owning, you gain equity, so it's money in your own pocket rather than someone else's. Sometimes it's not an option. And banks, with their rules and regulations, it makes it sometimes hard for people to even buy because they can't come up with a bunch down or whatever it is. They don't make enough to be able to afford what they need. Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely a very interesting world that, like I said, I'm very clueless in, but I need to start figuring out if I want to buy a home. So
yeah.
But yeah, the what else? Oh, have you been kind of keeping an eye on this banking thing?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know a whole lot about financial institutions. I'm glad I didn't bank with them.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that I don't understand about how banks work.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the idea that, like, we can essentially just print endless money, how could we ever go into debt?
Yeah.
And that's kind of a weird situation in and of itself.
They say that's like what has a lot to do with the current inflation, is because Biden, when he gave everyone the stimulus money, was like printing money.
Yeah.
So it's all this extra money, and that's what they say. Then everything's not worth the $2. Now it's worth $3 because everyone has $2, but not everyone. It's weird. Yeah,
It is weird.
I think it would have helped if you could give everyone that or create all that money, but while keeping prices even. That might have helped, but
Well, and it's just, I mean, I get how inflation works,
mm-hmm.
but it's just like one of those things where it's like, okay, the bank's going to collapse, but we can just print endless money.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work?
I have no idea.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and then you add all this crypto stuff that's going to, I don't know, man. It's looking like 2008.
Yeah. Like the banks that failed, I guess they had a lot of investments in crypto. And
Well, and there were a lot bigger, like wealthier firms, weren't they? Or
Yeah.
like
they were tech bankers. So
yeah,
single entities had a lot of money.
Silicon
And so when
Valley and
single entities try to pull all their money out, well, you don't have enough money to give everybody because those monies are tied up in investments. And a lot of them being crypto, and you bought, for $50,000 in Bitcoin is now like 26,000. So now you're lost and you're holding on to it, hoping it's going to go up, so you can get that money that you put in and maybe some back. And people are like, no, we want our money now, and they didn't have enough to give everyone.
it's kind of
So to go back to that, I hope like people don't assume there was no like bailout. Those banks that did fail, everyone pays like an insurance premium. Like when we pay insurance, it goes in, and then when a storm comes and we get insurance claims, we get money for whatever is damaged. It's what insures those banks. So there is a pot of money that's insurance collections from all the banks, that when that bank failed and those people wanted their money back, it came from that pot of money. It's not coming from any other investor's pockets.
right.
It's from insurance premiums that have been paid. So
Well, and
there is a big misconception, depending on what news you want, but that is the truth on what had happened on that.
yeah. Well, and like they were talking about trying to get the Saudis to buy it out and stuff. I was like, gee, okay, like now we're getting into some like hairy territory here. Like the Saudis got all the money and they're gonna just buy up everything. It's like, you follow golf?
I was just to say, live golf.
Yeah. I mean, from what I can see, it looks pretty entertaining, but at the same time, it's like,
They don't have a real TV contract, so it's hard for them to get viewership. It's kind of fun to watch. They get to wear shorts and stuff, or like PGA, they have to wear slacks.
I know.
They do a team event, and they do like a shotgun start, so it's not like one group goes off and then the group goes off behind them. They all start at random holes at the same time, so everyone gets done about the same time. So it's really only a 3-hour, 4-hour event.
rather than like a 3-day event.
Well, no, rather than like where one round will take all day long.
Oh, yeah.
They're all done with their round in like 3-4 hours.
Sure.
So it doesn't make people have to be out at the links for 8 hours watching
Gotcha.
golf all day. And that's their business model. That's how they do it. And they do three rounds rather than 4. They're a little bit more loose with what they can do and where, and galleries and music and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I'm not a huge into golf. It's funny. It's like what everybody says. Like the older you get, the more into golf you get, and it's true. Like I have had more of an interest as I've gotten older. I love Topgolf.
yeah.
But and I like going to the driving range, like that simulator we have out here.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've done that a couple times.
It's an expensive sport for one, and I just don't have the extra time really.
Yeah.
Like I just got so much stuff going on. But
It's a good like break. Me being married and having 2 kids, for me, it's a good like break to be like just out.
oh sure,
Yelling and screaming at a damn white ball and drinking some beers with some dudes. And actually, my wife, she golfed with us last year, and for barely doing. I've known her 20 years. We've been together. She's golfed, we'll call it 4 times with me on an actual course. And we went out for my birthday last year, and she absolutely loved it. She did great. She's like, I want to come more, and I'm like, oh, what did I get myself into? Before, I didn't have to take you because you didn't like golf. Now you like golf. Now you want to go all the time. But hey, maybe it gets me out golfing more, so maybe it's a win-win.
Yeah, for sure. And like I've heard it's just doing a full like even a 9 holes or whatever is pretty fun. Like it's just a fun experience. I've never actually done it, but
It's some of the best scenery that you're gonna see. Like golf courses are absolutely beautiful and immaculate, and the grounds keep them superb. And so it's absolutely like not heavenly, but you're in just, you look around.
It's like a serenity.
Yeah, exactly. A serenity, a calming serenity. And
it's not like
drive around your cart and listen to music and BS, talk shit with the guys.
And it's not like an overly exerting sport, but it's still competitive. And
yeah, exactly.
So
get some wagers. That's cash per hole. You're gonna have a great time. At the end, you like, I owe you $3.40. Here you go.
Yeah. Just based on the hole or whatever.
Yeah. Let's take a buck a hole, and then like if the hole's carried, it's double. And you do bingo, bango, bongo. So first to the green, first in the cup, close to the pin, get different points. You can do all kinds of fun games.
I feel like it's something I could definitely get into. I just haven't yet. But with all this live stuff, I've definitely paid a little bit more attention, and there have been some more interesting golfers in the more recent years and stuff, and it's cool to watch Tiger's kid. Yeah.
Charlie. He's amazing.
That's his name, yeah, that's right.
He's a little badass.
He looks he like has the same like
mannerisms,
fist pump and all that stuff. It's
club twirl and like how he like just watching his ball.
Yeah.
They're great. They're great.
I was gonna say before when we were talking about the banks and stuff, the tech thing. I heard this somewhere, so this isn't my original thought, but it was kind of an interesting thought where the whole tech boom could kind of eventually move into like what happened with like automotive or like manufactured jobs here, where it ends up getting outsourced not to other countries but by AI. And so like even all these tech jobs where like that's the main like that's the big boom right now. All those people are going to be out of jobs within the next like 20 years just because it'll all be automated.
Yeah, we've had not only that too, we've had a couple people come in to Express looking for work who were commercial lenders. And that's been AI because a lot of it, they're trying to buy commercial property, so there's a lot less parameters, and it's put your application through an AI system and it says yay or nay. The banks fund you there. Like, I don't need to pay you to say yay or nay when this damn program right here will do it. So.
Dude, this AI stuff is kind of scary.
It is scary. I agree.
Because they were already talking about how, like, well, now that with the Chat GPT or whatever the AI things are, where you can actually talk to them and they process what you're saying and give you information, that'll do away with like telemarketing jobs or like any call center jobs that you have to do, where like you just call and ask questions, whatever. All that'll be gone. They just opened up the first fully automated McDonald's in Denver.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no humans. It all is just robots. And that's just like the beginning. We've been saying that's going to happen for years, but now it's happened. Damn. So think about like fast food restaurants in general. Just in Billings.
Yeah.
We have what? Like 40?
At least.
Yeah. And each of those probably has 25 employees at least. That's a lot of people out of employment, just like that.
Yeah. Well, maybe my cheeseburger's price will go down then.
Well, and that's the thing too. That's the thing that like, boggles my mind. Is it's like, okay, you're gonna get rid of all the employees. How is anybody gonna afford to buy your products?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point too. I didn't think of it that way.
So it's like you're not paying anybody, but then so the products. Do we just start living in a free society where like everything is free? That doesn't make sense.
I forgot the name of the old show. I saw a clip of it on TikTok, but it's your money's like your lifespan. It's got Justin Timberlake in it. So you work and it gives you more life, and then you can like give people 3 minutes, and it's your currency.
Yeah, I
kind of like that stuff.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name of it though. Yeah, where it's like, hey, take a couple weeks for yourself.
Yeah. There's a guy at the bar, and he's like, "Did you see? He's got 1 billion years left." The guy is like, "I'll take both of you girls," talking because he had, instead of all the money, he had all that life.
That is an interesting concept to like compare money to like time. And I saw this on probably just like a TikTok or something like that. I don't actually use TikTok. It's like Reels or whatever. But
yeah, I think mine might have been a Reels as well.
And they said it was pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Inspiring, I guess. It was like you would like, God, I'm gonna fuck it up, but something about like for $1 million, like you would love to have $1 million, right? But it's like if I could give you, if you could have $1 million, but you were gonna die tomorrow, would you take it? Of course not. So you value your life more than, like, you value time,
okay.
and you value your life has no monetary value to it.
Yeah.
You would never trade time for money.
Maybe like a year for $1 million. That might no.
But it's like, even still, or yeah, I think maybe that was it. Like, if you knew
Still
you were going to die
that.
in a year, but you got $1 million, would you take it? Of course not.
There's a lot of people I say that would probably say yes. And, having a family, you don't want to say yes. You want all the time you can have, but you definitely see some people saying, hey, yeah.
If they had like the mindset of being like, it's not like I'll just pass it down to my family and like they'll be set for life.
Yeah.
But even still, it's like, it just proves that money doesn't have money. It's not, the value of money does not exceed the value of time in life.
No.
And when you put it in that perspective, it's like, damn, okay. So like with that, where it's like, if currency was time, it would be valued a lot more than what it is now.
For sure.
And it's, man, I don't know. I try not to bug myself out, like overthinking stuff about like, the finance stuff or the AI and all that. Like, what does the future hold? But it's like, it's hard not to like think that something crazy is like on the horizon.
Well, me and my wife talk all the time about trying to maybe, when we get older, our kids are older. Our youngest is going to be 13, so we don't have too long until both kids would be out of the house. Like, would we move to Mexico and just become like some American? I could open up like an American restaurant there. Probably, burgers and fries and stuff like that would be great. I know some Spanish, un poco,
Yeah.
But like, America is just, I really do feel like it's trying to divide itself. It's trying to pit us against each other, whether you're one way or the other. I mean, sports teams, everything's got to be a rivalry. Everything's a rivalry.
Well, and it wouldn't be too far of a stretch to think that there might be outside entities doing this. Like, what if China's like they're playing the long game? Maybe like they've been infiltrating this whole thing for years, trying to divide us, and every empire falls. There's not an empire in the history of time that's lasted. No. So the fact that we think that
ours is infinite,
or like just the Western culture in general will just last forever, not necessarily.
Canada's too cold though, so we were thinking south.
I would probably
being in Montana most of our lives. We're like, F this weather. We want to go south somewhere.
Me and my cousin are going to Ireland for my birthday in July.
That's badass.
And both of us keep saying like, there's a decent chance we'll just cancel those flights.
Yeah, no, coming back.
The return flight, we'll just stay.
Yeah, you fit right in.
Right. Well, and obviously he might. I'm not. Like, I still love it here, but Ireland would be a place that I would consider living if push came to shove, and I was gonna have to live somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen much on normal mainstream media here, but like on TikTok and stuff. Have you seen what's going on in Paris? So the government there wanted to change the retirement age from 62 to 64. Well, all the working people started like striking. They went on strike. You can watch it. Like, that's one thing if we want to talk about TikTok and whether you ban it or not. It's the only places I've seen it. All these people went on strike. The city workers, fast food workers, restaurant. Everyone's just on strike. They're like, F you. If you want to change this, then we're not going to work. To the point where the city workers have quit picking up trash. So now the city's overran with trash and there's rats all over. And the police were, trying to keep police. Now they're like, fuck, we're not working either.
Oh, man.
I mean, if you Google it right now, Paris is crazy. There was like a 40 million person march in just one city the other day. Just trying to boycott that, what they're trying to do. And I'm like, look what happens with the power of the people. We should do this stuff.
Well, that's true. But it's like,
I'm going to get you canceled. People will be like, what are you guys...
That is kind of crazy, though, to like, everything just shuts down because of 2 years. You want to like... But I get it. Like, I mean, the French don't like to work, so...
But it's crazy to see because you don't see it on like CNN or Fox News or any of those.
That is interesting.
But yeah, that's pretty crazy. They've been like setting the trash on fire like the residents have because that's the only way to like dispose of it right now.
Because nobody's picking it up.
No one's picking it up. It's on the street. Rats are eating it. And,
Damn.
So I don't know if I'd go to Paris right now.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I did not know that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's like crazy. And you know what else is crazy? Like I keep getting like alerts on my weather app of like an earthquake every other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like there's been like at least 3 big earthquakes in the last like couple weeks.
Wow.
And it's like big
Mm.
all over the world, and it's like, damn, are we really in the end times here? Like, what's happening? It just seems like there's too much crazy stuff happening.
Well, that's one thing that like I was talking about with the mainstream media and then TikTok. Sometimes that's the only place. And I was listening to it on another radio show that a lot of the young generations, they get their news from social media.
Oh yeah, it's where I get most of my news anymore.
And a lot of it is because that's your unbiased. You're getting firsthand accounts of people there. Like, especially with TikTok. Like, this is where I'm at. Look what's going on. CNN or Fox News or whoever's not going to show you this, but look at this is what's really going on, you know?
Yeah.
And so, is that what reason when they want to ban it? Because, you know, we're starting to speak to each other and not let them control what's being heard or what the narrative is and letting other people? Or is it because they're stealing our information and then can invade us? I don't know.
It could be a whole, you know, it's like...
Or is it both?
The whole stealing of information thing, I think that's already been happening.
Dude.
And it's
exactly.
like... And the idea that the United States wants to ban TikTok is probably because, like, obviously China would... If it's the harvesting of information or whatever, it's just because the United States isn't doing it. Like, or they're not doing it with TikTok. Well, if you don't think the United States has been stealing information from people for years, you're crazy. Like, everybody's doing it. Yeah. And you could do it from Facebook or...
Google.
Yeah, everything. Anything you put your information in.
Your bank, what you purchase.
Yeah.
They already know what you're spending your money on. You have a GPS no matter where you are. They know where you're going.
Yeah. So the idea that TikTok is like, that's the harm from it, I don't think so. As far as like an information hub... Maybe that's why they want to get rid of it, but I don't know that that's going to change either. Like, we have infinite information on all these sources in the palm of our hands.
And then they say if they do ban it, all they're going to do is just take it off the App Store, so you can't download it if you don't have it.
But anybody who has it
will have it. They say it'll make harder for you to get updates. Like, after a while, they'll stop carrying the updates because it's no longer supported.
Huh.
But like, I hate when my shit updates half the time anyway. I'm like, why can't I just work how it did before this new update? Everything's different.
And you got to update like every week. Mm-hmm. God, that's how my phone has to update like every week. I'm just like, okay, we just did this. Yeah. It's not even that hard. It takes like 20 seconds, but it's just the pain of hitting the button and being like, doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's the other thought is that the whole just social media in general, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff, has like kind of been designed to almost brainwash us in a way, or like the division, like the whole like. You can take them off if you want. You don't have to wear them.
Okay.
Yeah. They were just there for you if you wanted.
My ears are sweaty.
I know they get warm, and I like to wear them just because then I know
the audio's coming through or not.
No, it's totally optional. You don't gotta wear them.
I have big ears too, so they're really getting sweaty.
Well, hey, on a day like this, God.
Yeah.
I woke
Beautiful up out there. I don't know if everyone knows out there, but it's the blizzard, snowpocalypse 2023
in springtime.
Yeah,
over it.
We had 50, almost 60 on Tuesday. That would be 6 inches out there if it wasn't so damn cold or so warm and everything's melting. But yeah,
it does look kind of nice with all the trees covered in snow. But I'm over it. Let's get some sunshine.
Yes, I'm ready for summer.
But yeah, no, the just like the idea that maybe China was like, this is just a theory. I'm not saying this is like the actual fact. It could be any country, any like enemy country would like make it to try and like feed us disinformation or to like divide and do all that. Like there's all these and I'm not trying to like speak facts here. These are just theories. And and some of them might even be true, but like a lot of these protests, whether it was BLM or the January 6th thing, there's kind of evidence that there's been like government involvement in that, like FBI involvement, sending like agent provocateurs to like escalate.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, that's been happening for years. Like that happened in like the civil rights movement.
Yep.
It's happened. The LA protests in was that the 90s or
like the Rodney King.
Yeah, like it's nothing has changed. Like I don't know if it's the FBI or the CIA or whoever it is, but there's agent provocateurs that are from the government helping to escalate these situations.
Yeah,
and that could be the same online.
Oh yeah,
you know,
or I mean, just even during voting time, the ads on TV.
Oh yeah,
constant.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to get you to sway one way or the other. Call it what you want. I mean, it's full of it. Millions of dollars go into that. So,
but the interesting thing about it is like, well, the real question to me is like, why? Like, what if that is the case? Because I'm not saying it's definitely the case, but if that were the case, why? What's the purpose?
Divide.
Yeah, but to what? To what end goal?
Because then we rely on government. We still look up to them. We're not relying on ourselves. We're relying on them because they're the ones keeping the peace. Because they can control then.
And then you control the money, and then you control the laws.
Well, they'll figure it out down there. They're gonna get you canceled. People will be like, "You guys are conspiracy theorists."
Oh, this is mild compared to half the stuff I listen to.
Oh yeah, I've been starting to try to follow him. I really like Joe Rogan. I think he's a hoot, man.
I love Joe. Like. He puts out too many episodes, and they're all so long that, like, anymore I just listen to the ones that I know who the guest is, and I'm like... But every now and again, you'll see one where it's like... I like the clips, because, like, you'll get, like, nuggets of interesting facts.
Mm-hmm. Pat McAfee's a good one to watch.
I love McAfee. Yeah,
I watched it. I fucking downloaded it the day... I'm like, what's Aaron Rodgers doing? As being a Viking fan, I'm like, I want to tune in. I'm at work. It's a snowy day like this. I'm like, I'm just going to watch this before I go out. I watched it and I was like,
Sounds like he might be. Well, it sounds like the Jets aren't willing to give the Packers what they want
on a trade. Yeah.
After making all these big moves, I still think it's going to happen. Yeah. I mean, either they're going to cut him because
he's going to pull a five. He'll have to retire, sit a year, then get hired. Then he can go play for the Jets. Then he'll go to the Vikings and we'll win a Super Bowl.
They'll just do the same thing.
Yeah.
Same rotation.
Merry-go-round of quarterbacks, of retired Packer quarterbacks.
I don't picture Rodgers.
I honestly wouldn't want him. I think he is a smug asshole. Hell of a quarterback, but God, he's annoying.
Yeah. Well, I just don't... I mean, the idea that I can't even believe the Jets want to trade for him, considering the last 2 years he's waffled back and forth whether he wants to even play anymore.
Like, what's the commitment?
Well, yeah, he might go play a year, and then you think he's not going to do this next year? Just like, maybe I'll stay, maybe I won't.
Yeah. And you're like, this last year when it happened with the 3-year contract, it was, he's going to play 3 years. They gave him $150 million for 3 years. Of course he's going to play.
Right.
And then he's like, I don't know if I'm going to play. So no matter what contract you drop, or no matter what guarantee you got, it sounds like it's all for naught when it comes to Aaron Rodgers.
Well, and it's like, what are you going to trade 3 first-round picks for a guy that might be there in, like, for a year or two? That's crazy.
At best. And he is old.
In one of the toughest divisions and the toughest conference.
Playing outdoors on all of your games. Yeah, 2 are down in Miami, but the other ones are Buffalo, New York Jets, and then what's the other one?
The
New England, Gillette Stadium. We're all up there in the cold weather.
Well, not just that, but it's like, and obviously the Bills are good now. The Dolphins are looking better than they ever have.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough division. And then let's say you make it to the playoffs. Then you got to go through Cincinnati. You got to go through KC, yeah.
Even San Diego.
Yeah.
Even the Broncos, if they can get their crap together.
Yeah, we'll see. I was going to say, that's why I had to stop listening to Pat McAfee throughout the year, because they were just trashing the Broncos and Russ. And, like, I don't blame them, and I understand it, but I can't, like, be a fan and be like, oh, yeah, we suck.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a rough year.
It was rough being 13-4 and sounding like we were the worst team in the league. Being a Viking fan, I mean, I'm like, is anyone like gonna get that? We are winning the games that you put in front of us. We beat Buffalo at Buffalo.
Yeah,
was anyone with a first-year head coach who's never coached before in the NFL?
I like that guy too.
I absolutely love him. I think he's the future for the Minnesota franchise. He's the future. He's young, so he can be there for a long time. The way the guys played in the atmosphere, I watched all their shit. I watched the stuff after, watched the locker room speeches and stuff. The way he got those guys to fight for each other and play for each other was just absolutely amazing. It was like, made me be proud to be a Viking fan again, but then you get shit on by all the national media. It's like, you guys don't even watch the fucking games.
Yeah.
You just go off of what the scoreboard says and what the stat says about point differential in front of you. Watch the games.
Mm-hmm.
Our defense was atrocious, but nobody could stop our offense. Kirk Cousins, I don't care what you guys say about him, he is a hell of a quarterback. He can deliver that ball. What I wish he could do is move around in the pocket a little bit more. He will stand there and I'm like, just move up. Just 2 feet. That guy's going to go right by you, move up 2 feet, he'll give you a half second, you get JJ or Thielen or Hawkinson. Well, no longer Thielen, but you get one of them.
How do you feel about that with Thielen leaving?
I told my wife, and she was like, what? Well, that's stupid. Why is he leaving? I'm like, that's what happens. It's a game of football.
That's why he went to the Panthers.
I know. And then said that he thinks that they're a Super Bowl contender.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, that division's pretty open.
Yeah, he could have said we're a playoff contender. I'd have gotten with that, but I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender.
He could have gone to Buffalo. Denver had interest in him.
I think Oakland also may have had interest in him or something. He had a couple teams that they said were interested in him. I'm not sure. I think he's lost a step, but his story is absolutely phenomenal. We grew up in Minnesota as a Viking fan. Didn't do the combine, wasn't invited. He went to a regional combine like in Chicago, and as the scout team for the Vikings, they signed him onto their practice squad, and he was on the practice squad for a few weeks. I don't remember how long it was. And then they brought him up to play on the special teams. So he was like on the punt team.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say it was first or second game. It was against Carolina, at Carolina. He blocked a punt and returned it for a touchdown, for his first ever touchdown. That was his first ever touchdown, not a receiving touchdown.
Oh, that's crazy.
We actually had 2 blocked punts that game returned for touchdowns. And it was down in Carolina. And so that was his first ever touchdown.
And he played for the Gophers, didn't he?
No, he played Mankato State.
Oh, okay. I don't remember who I'm thinking of, but
no, we don't have very many actual Golden Gophers that played for the Vikings.
Okay.
But at one time they had 7 players on their team that were born in Minnesota, North Dakota, or South Dakota on their team. I thought that was pretty cool.
And and you guys traded for Hawkinson. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good trade.
He's homely, but God, he can catch a football.
Yeah, and he can block too.
He's a hell of a football player. That's exactly what he is. It's a football player.
Who else did you guys lost Kendricks too, didn't you?
Yeah, he went to the Chargers, so you'll have to face him twice a year.
Bummer.
He's lost a step too. Our defense last year, I don't know what we're gonna do. We've lost, I think, 4 cornerbacks and signed 1.
Oh, jeez.
By math, that doesn't work out.
Well, probably looking into the draft and then
we have 4 picks.
Oh shit!
In the draft, that's it. I think we got a compensatory pick. We gave 2 away for Hawkinson. We've given just our old regime liked to play around, trade a lot. We had, I think, a couple drafts ago, we had 14 draft picks, but they were 8 in rounds 4 and later. So 6 in really the first. I think it was the 5th and later. And so we had like 6 picks in the first 4 rounds, so not very many, but a shit ton at the end.
Yeah.
Some of those players have panned out, some haven't.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes. But
our cap situation has been atrocious.
That's how I feel. Well, Denver's cap has not been too bad because now we got like they're playing the money game with like the cash over cap thing. I think. And so,
bite you in the ass later on.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like it's going to be all signing bonuses, which doesn't go against the cap.
Oh, okay.
So like they're just going to pay everybody up front, which is kind of dangerous because then there's no motivation to like keep playing hard. But
the Rams.
Yeah, exactly. But like we've made a lot of moves in free agency, but I'm just like I'm not like stoked about any of them. I'm not like upset at any of them, but I'm not just like yeah. We got like Samaje Perine, which is cool. We got a couple of O-linemen.
You just signed a receiver, that Marquez Callaway.
Yeah, I'm actually stoked about that one.
So on that, they're saying that there's rumors of a Viking Bronco trade, possibly for Judy or Sutton. They say that Denver's asking price was a little high. They wanted a first for Judy and like a second for Sutton, but they said the talks have been like second for Judy and third or later for Sutton.
See,
and that Minnesota would possibly be open to that for a solid number 2 behind Jefferson. Or chance it in the draft because we have KJ Osborne and we had a rookie Jalen Naylor last year that we drafted who's it's okay, he's kind of an undersized. We kind of need like a burner. Jefferson will outrun you all day, but I mean he won't blow. He's not a Randy Moss, you know.
Sure.
That's just gonna throw it deep and he'll go get it.
See, Judy's been kind of underwhelmed. Like he hasn't lived up to his expectations. He hasn't really had the quarterbacks up until even Russ had obviously had a bad year last year. So
yeah.
I personally wouldn't want to trade both of them. I can see trading one of them, and if it was going to be one of them, it would be Sutton just because he holds a higher cap. I would keep Judy because, first of all, you can, like, from what I've seen, Russ likes throwing to him.
Yeah.
He's like, him and Russ have a nice connection. Sutton's the better receiver in my opinion, but we have Tim Patrick who like is nobody knows.
Is he hurt?
He was hurt last year. Yeah, he had an ACL, which sucked because I thought like I think Tim Patrick's our best receiver.
Really?
Yeah, like he does not drop anything. He's like a full on big body possession receiver. He's the guy that'll go straight down and just like jump and get that ball. You know.
Okay.
I think he's our best receiver, but Cortland Sutton's a good receiver. I think he's worth a first round pick. Judy's just got the age. He's young and he's a little speedster, and we just lost. We didn't lose KJ Hamler, but he had like a torn pec, so he's out for like 6 months.
Okay.
And that's probably why they went and got Callaway.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we get something for one of those two guys, okay. But I wouldn't trade both of them.
You guys don't have a pick the first round, right?
Traded it for Sean Payton.
Oh, that's right.
Which, you know what? Worth it, in my opinion. After last year, dude, it was between O'Connell or Hackett for Denver. Like that, those were the two guys.
Denver interviewed both,
and those were the final two options, and we ended up getting Hackett because the same reason the Jets went and got him. They think like it was supposed to be like a lure for Rodgers.
Yep.
Obviously, that didn't pan out, and Hackett, that was bad. That was rough to watch. I mean, the most simple mistakes. I was pulling my hair out, if I had any. I was pulling my hair out watching him just do the simplest mistakes. Like, why are you running on second and... Well, no, it was like third and... just like the downs... Whatever the... Okay, here's what it would be. We would run, like, on first down, get 5 yards, run on second down, get 4 yards. So it's like 3rd and 1, and then they go deep.
You were it was working, running, get the 1 yard, and then try deep next, play action maybe.
He's supposed to be this offensive genius, and he's making boneheaded offensive moves. I was just like... But having Sean Payton, he's going to, like... I think he's going to instill some discipline. He's not going to take any bullshit.
I remember watching some film too that they were showing the routes that they were having the receivers run for Denver. There was not a receiver even looking back for the ball till like 3 seconds after the snap. So you need Russell Wilson to stand back there for at least 3 seconds before any of the receivers are even ready to look for a pass because of these routes that they have designed.
Behind an O-line that's not very solid.
Yeah, and it was like... And a little guy... who's getting up there, it just, you saw every time they passed, it seemed like it was a struggle. There was no well-planned routes, Well,
we could never get a game going. Like, we couldn't get a run game started. We couldn't get, like, and here's the crazy thing. When we would, like, we'd have a first half where, like, oh, the run game's really kicking in here. And then they just abandon it in the second. I'm just like, I get, like, changing things and like trying to like throw the opponent off, but we're like ahead by 10 points at halftime with the run game like crushing, and then you're going to switch to pass game, and then we end up losing the game. Oh, dude, it was so frustrating. And I've said it all year, I truly do blame a majority of it on coaching.
On Hackett.
Yeah. It was everything. Play calling, just basic decision making. personnel, everything.
It didn't seem like he had the locker room. It seemed
No.
like they were against each other too, and he kind of just let it go, and it'll hammer itself out. And
He definitely lost the locker room.
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I can only imagine it'll be a totally different looking off, or everything will look different, but it'll depend on how Russ bounces back.
So if Denver had the first pick of the draft, who would you take?
The very first pick? I don't really know a lot of the draft picks this year. I can tell you what position I would take.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably take a corner.
Yeah.
But at the number one,
Yeah, let's
like,
trade out.
If we had a first round pick, I would go corner right now or O line.
Mm-hmm.
We filled a lot of the gaps we needed to with the O line situation, but I'm trying to think of like the top guys right now.
Yeah.
Or like a D line, like a pass rusher.
It was at the Jalen Carter for Georgia, who they said's kind of fallen. He was the one that was street racing against the car, and the car crashed after the national championship game.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. He's supposed to be a stud, but then he showed up overweight to the scouting combine. Ran a little slower than they liked. Plus he has the baggage of that. So, yeah, I don't know if like.
Do you guys have a first round pick?
No, yeah, we picked 23rd.
Okay.
Then I don't think we pick again till the 4th round.
Damn.
Or I think we might have got an end of the 3rd compensatory pick.
I could see you guys trading back to get a couple of second rounders.
Yeah, depending on what's there. We do need cornerback help. Like I said, we've lost 4 and only got 1.
Cornerback would be nice, and that's a good spot for that too, because I mean the first 15 picks are usually, I mean obviously you get a couple quarterbacks that go to to quarterback needy teams, but like it's usually been like D linemen, wide receivers, and cornerbacks. It's like all the skills positions.
There's a Tennessee quarterback, Hendon Hooker.
Yeah,
that if he was there at 23, I'd kind of want the Vikings.
I love that kid.
Maybe sit a year or two behind Kurt.
Is he in the draft this year? Okay. I know obviously CJ Stroud is the big one. And then he'll probably go to Carolina. And then who's the
Bryce Young the other one.
And then there's a couple of just random guys.
Will Levis, I guess he showed out a couple years ago for, I think it was Kentucky. He might have went to a different school and then transferred to Kentucky. But then this year kind of battled injuries and didn't have as good of a team and kind of struggled. They say he has the biggest arm in the draft, like Ben Roethlisberger type arm, where it just launches it down the field. But he missed in their pro day the other day. He missed a bunch of it's pro day. There was no one guarding him, and he missed open throws and things like that. So possibly a project, but they have him possibly going to the Raiders.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think the Raiders would be smart to pick up a young guy, especially with Garoppolo as injury prone as he is. Mm-hmm. Dude, that whole situation is just, it kind of honestly makes me so happy to see Josh McDaniels do exactly what he did
with Denver.
Yeah, in Denver to the Raiders, to like a rival team. Got rid of their quarterback who was like a fan favorite, and he was a Pro Bowler this year. Yeah. The dude was a Pro Bowler. They did end up, they franchise tagged Josh Jacobs because they had to, because they didn't
he didn't seem very happy most of the year.
Well, and he led the league.
Yeah.
And they didn't sign his 5th-year option. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it worked out for him because he's going to make a bag now.
Yeah.
But he obviously didn't get the long-term deal either. They traded Darren Waller.
Yeah, I read a couple of stories about how he... So you remember before he was with the Raiders, he was on the Ravens. He had a drug problem. Darren Waller.
Yeah.
Had a drug problem, went to rehab and stuff like that. So this year, because my cousin's a diehard Raider fan, so I get to hear it all from him. I basically know the second most about the Raiders than I do the Vikings because of him.
Yeah.
Well, when he hurt his knee, they went on a bye week, and they asked Waller to come to the team facility to, rehab his knee or hamstring, whatever he'd hurt. And he refused to. He said, "No, I'm staying at home." And then he says, "Don't call me till I come back," or something like that. And just sat there away from the team for like 2 or 3 weeks and rehabbed. And then came back and was like nowhere near where he would have been in the healing process had he been at the facility getting the proper training or rehab. And that caused him to be out basically the whole second half of the year. I think he came back the last couple games, but he wasn't the same player.
Yeah.
But it could have been like a 4-week injury, ended up being like an 8 to 10, and even then he wasn't coming back where he was supposed to be because he was going to do it himself. So it was like, is he falling back in his bad habits again? So I think they're like, yeah, let's just cut ties now. Because they signed not last year, but the year before. So I think he was in the second year of his new contract.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the first year. So.
Well, and Devontae Adams is clearly not happy. Like, I get the feeling he's going to request a trade. I mean, you got rid of Derek Carr, that was the whole reason
Adams went there.
Exactly.
They were college buddies. They played together in college.
And then you they didn't even get rid of him. They did get rid of him, but
he chose to leave because he was so unhappy with them.
Well, they just like stopped playing him the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just, none of it made sense. And he was still a Pro Bowler. He missed the last 2 weeks, and he still like was the 5th or 6th most yards.
Yeah.
And I never liked Derek Carr because he was a Raider, but I have nothing against him as a person or as a quarterback. I think he's a fine quarterback. Great move by the Saints to go get him.
Did you see the meme where it says, going from Derek Carr to Jimmy G is like going from Jimmy G to Derek Carr?
They're like both kind of
the same.
They're good,
look alike,
but they're just not like, they don't have that like killer instinct,
no.
or like they're not necessarily, I wouldn't call them clutch.
No.
And they're also like, yeah, I guess when it comes down to, I don't know though, Jimmy G, man, he went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he doesn't lose a lot. Every place he plays, he wins. He won a lot in New England. He's done nothing but win in San Fran. It's stay healthy is what he can't do.
And he never really had the numbers either. He had like steady numbers. And then it's kind of the opposite for Carr. Carr gets numbers, but he doesn't get wins.
Exactly. But shit, I'm sure quarterbacks will take wins over numbers any day.
I knew Jimmy G was going to the Raiders just because of the Josh McDaniels thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't hate the move, but I don't love it either. I don't really care because I hate the Raiders, so it doesn't matter to me. Like, I hope they crash and burn. Now I just need the Chiefs to do the same thing.
We're supposed to go, me and my cousin are supposed to go down to Vegas because the Vikings will play the Raiders in Vegas this year, so we want to go down for that game. So
that'd be sweet.
As soon as the schedule releases, I know hopefully we'll be going to Vegas.
We've been planning on doing a Vegas trip because obviously they play them every year. The last 1 year it was on like Christmas Eve, so that's why we didn't go. And then last year we didn't go because my buddy had to work. Like my buddy that we usually go, so I ended up going to Nashville instead.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked cool.
Dude, that was sweet. It was the coldest game I've ever been to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I've been to Denver like 10 times, and that was the coldest game I've ever been to.
Yeah, you guys won that game though.
No, we lost.
Oh.
It was the first road game I've ever been to that we lost.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've been to San Diego, Arizona, Dallas, and then Nashville. But we won all those other ones. And I was like, 3-0 on the road. Here we go. The two I'm looking at this net, if I do, because between Ireland and I'm going down to Denver in like 3 weeks for, we're going to go to a Nuggets playoff game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we bought tickets for the first round, and we're going to an Avalanche game.
Let's say they won't be in the playoffs about the same time?
It's like the last, yeah, they will be, but it'll be like the last regular season Avalanche game, and then the first playoff game for the Nuggets. Okay. So between that, Ireland, it's gonna be tough to make another trip this year for a football game. But if I would like to go to Vegas because if we can like line it up to go to a UFC fight too, that would be sweet.
Oh, I know.
Because I've never been to a UFC fight.
I became a big fan of F1 racing.
Really?
I started watching that Drive to Survive on Netflix, dude, and I'm hooked.
I've heard that.
I want to go to one. You try to buy a ticket to F1? Good luck. Yeah, I looked on StubHub for like Vegas tickets. They're like $2,600.
Dude, that's crazy.
For the cheapest. That's more expensive than a Super Bowl ticket. Like, it's outrageous. If you want F1 tickets, you better plan ahead. But man, some of those courses, like in Abu Dhabi and around there, they have race courses, beautiful race courses in the middle of a desert. There's not even infrastructure around it. And they have this like $500 million race course for cars That just gets used probably twice a year by those damn things. That's how much
crazy.
stupid money they have.
Oh, dude. You know what's crazy too about Abu Dhabi is just money, money, money.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard that it's like the most chill, polite place you'll ever go.
I'd live there. I think it's beautiful. The architecture there.
Now they have some pretty crazy rules. Like
sure.
you're not allowed to curse.
Well,
you're not like you can
boom. I'd step out of the plane and I'd be like, "Hey, look at this shit. This is great." They'd be like, "Nope, you're out of here."
Yeah. Like you're not really even allowed to like yell in public.
Wow.
Like there's some weird rules. Like that was kind of the whole Qatar soccer
thing.
There was some. That's how a lot of that came out. But it's all that Arab Emirates area.
Wasn't they you can't have alcohol there, but they did allow it in the stadiums. Like that was one of the big World Cup things because of their sponsorships that they have with alcohol beverages. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you can't drink. But that's just it. So basically, with all these rules and stuff, obviously that's kind of sucky. But they say it makes for a really
quality
chill,
life, yeah,
polite. Huh. Like everybody's just you can walk down the street like no worries of getting mugged or
not like
killed. Yeah, dude, for real. I don't want to like divulge any like information or anything like that, but that kid that got shot down on in the north side.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Nava.
Yeah.
Solomon Nava.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My sister used to be his baby mama's roommate.
Oh,
they went to high school together.
Wow.
So I didn't know him, but like family kind of knew.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the whole like I'll tell you a little more afterwards. That I found out, but it's public information, but I don't want to spread any.
Radio's not the spot for it.
Yeah,
podcasts aren't the spot for
I don't want to spread a bunch of stuff that may or may not be true. That I'm just like seeing on Facebook. Mm-hmm. But
it's unfortunate anyway.
Oh, dude, and it's like every other day, dude. Like they just found like a guy got shot. It's been a lot in this area too.
Yeah, like the 12th area, 13th area, right around here.
Avenue A through F is like.
Yep.
That's where that one dude got killed, and then over by the bingo hall, like he stole the guy's truck. Dude, that's crazy. The guy was just chilling in his truck. Guy comes up, just kills him
in the head.
Yeah,
pulls him out, takes his truck, and he crashed. And he ran into the house. That's our friend's brother's house, Eric Brady. They shot him in the stomach. I don't think he's out of the hospital yet. At one time, I want to say his doctor bills are over $200,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well,
that's outrageous. I mean,
he should be able to sue for that then, right?
Yeah. The guy, who do you sue though?
Right.
Like, well, you sue me, you're gonna get like $100 a month. That's gonna take a lot of months to get your $200,000.
Dude, that's just crazy though. Like, and it's like every day there's something.
Yeah.
But here's what I keep saying too, like, because everybody says the same thing. It's like, oh, Billings is getting crazy, and like, yes, it is. I don't deny that. But the consistency of like all these like incidences, it's not. It seems to be a lot of people who are involved in not so good shit,
nefarious activities.
Yeah. It's not just like random people getting killed on the street.
Yeah.
I mean, granted that one guy, like that was a situation, but it's for the most part, it's not just like you could walk down the street and just get shot.
Like the lady that was murdered right in this area, the found her in the suitcase.
Yeah. Oh God.
Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
That was her boyfriend. You know, it had been a troubled relationship. So there's always.
It seems like a lot of drugs are involved in a lot of
drugs, bad relationships, stuff like that. But yeah, like you're saying, it's not random. Like you're not worried about someone tearing in the door and murdering you.
Right.
Because you're not involved in any of these nefarious activities, nor am I.
At the same time, I'm not afraid that could happen.
Exactly, yeah. Not like we don't have our pistol sitting right here.
Yeah, I'm not just sitting with my door unlocked at all times. Mm-hmm. But it is unnerving to see headlines every other day of somebody getting shot or stabbed or a police standoff. Mm-hmm. That lady up in the Heights on Birch. Dude, that was nuts. They like ripped the whole front of her house
with a water hose, with the fire truck's water hose. They did? Yeah, high pressure water hose. Like they said, like just seared right through it, and then they could see her, and then that's when they hit her with the stun gun or the stun grenade and grabbed her.
Bro, she was like 50.
Yeah.
Like, what? That had to be drugs.
I felt bad. I don't know if you watched the news story, but the poor neighbor who it all started with, because she terrorized him. He looked like he's a young 20-year-old kid who he said she always would just terrorize him, shoot at his windows, berate him, yell at him, chase him down the street with like a bat, threaten to hit him, stuff like that. And he had called the cops on her earlier in the day. Yeah, it was like at 7 in the evening that Friday or whatever. And they went up, and she wouldn't come out. They knocked on the door, and she wouldn't come out. And they're like, well, I don't know what to tell you. She's not coming out. At the time, it was just like she was shooting pellets at the side of his house.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't come out. And they're like, I don't know what to tell you. No, she left. She left, and then she came back like 2, 3 in the morning and started shit up again with that neighbor and shooting him with the pellet gun. Blew out the window, and then he called the cops again. They showed up again, and that's when the standoff all started.
And she shot a cop.
Yeah.
Like with a real gun.
A real shotgun, yeah.
Jesus.
And it went through his body shield, like the shields, and under, I don't know if it was under or over his body gear, like some of the pellet did. And he had to have like emergency surgery, so he got hit with more than 1 or 2 bird shot,
Dude, that's crazy. And like I said, you have to imagine that's got to be drugs involved.
Yeah. I don't know any other 50-year-old woman that would act like that.
Or just mentally ill.
Nah, that could be it too.
I mean, it is not. I mean, it's definitely crazy, all the stuff that's going on. But like I said, there's more involved than just like criminals like coming. It's obviously they're criminals, but it's like they're not just muggings, like random muggings. And like downtown, I walk around downtown all the time. I've never even hardly seen like a fight break out.
No, I've seen a lot of the homeless and stuff that are down there, and
they get aggressive sometimes.
They'll ask for shit, just ignore them. Keep walking. It's like any other city I've ever been in. It happens there too.
Yeah.
My buddy he always gave me shit because we don't vote the same, so he always has a different opinion than me. But he called me from Salt Lake City, and he's like, "Dude, you would not believe all the homeless people here. They're everywhere. They let them live here too." Evidently, anywhere you go, you're gonna find homeless people. So
yeah, we just be happy that there's not like tents and. Although I've seen a few spots where people like there's little what do you call them, like pop up community, like whatever, where there's like 3 or 4 tents, and they're in random spots like over by Goodwill.
Oh yeah, like on the backside areas of those.
Which makes sense because they probably just go over and take that shit that people stick off to the side and
throw away. Goodwill throws a lot of stuff away.
Oh, that's so. Somebody we were talking yesterday about. I don't even know how we brought this up, but I said that Goodwill is the pawn shop for clothing.
Oh yeah,
because
they don't give you no money.
Right. You don't get any.
You get your tax deficit.
But it's like because somebody was talking about going to a pawn shop, and then it's like. One thing you would never find at a pawn shop is clothes. But I'm like, yeah, Goodwill's like the pawn shop.
Yeah.
I always go to Goodwill to get my Halloween costumes.
We've done that a couple years. We've done ugly sweaters. We went there and bought. When I get there, I swear I always draw a blank. Like I have all these great ideas, but you don't ever find exactly what's in your head. So then I'm never creative enough to just pick something out on the fly, so I'm like, I guess I'll get this.
Yeah.
And it's never as cool as I thought it would be.
Anytime I go somewhere to shop, whether it's Target or Walmart or whatever, they never have what I'm looking for. No one. Like I have, but it doesn't help that I have like a specific thing I'm looking for. And that's just kind of it too. When you go shop for something, chances are you're not going to find it. No. If you go shopping and you find something, or you're just like, oh, this is nice, or oh, I like that. Obviously, that's kind of just how shopping's supposed to be. But that's where online shopping is just going to take over. Like, it already is. Because then that's what I end up doing. I can't find what I'm looking for, so I just got to go online because I know I can find it there.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes online, you never know what you're going to get. I bought some Apple AirPods. And it's all Chinese. Chinese written on the back, Chinese in the instructions. Even like on the inside it says Chinese, but they're only $45. They look brand new, so I mean, hey.
Oh, so they're like a knockoff type thing? Is that what it is?
So I got an email from the Vikings fan store that the Apple AirPods, claim your Apple AirPods today. So they're like $200, but the sponsorship with whoever's through the Minnesota Vikings pays 75%, so you only pay 25%.
Okay.
So I bought them. Like, I need some new earbuds. So I bought them, and then I wore them today at the gym, and I was hooking them up. Even on my Bluetooth, it's in Chinese.
Oh, you're serious? It's just like Chinese characters?
Yeah. Well, it has a little English afterwards, but it is hilarious.
It starts in like a Chinese.
Look at the Think Plus ones on the bottom.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
And then so I looked at the box, I'm like, goddamn, all Chinese.
They're spying on you now.
Yeah, they already were.
They'll listen. Yeah, exactly. If anybody's. That was funny, too, with that spy balloon.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's like, there's satellites. Like, have you seen Google Earth?
Yeah.
They can look at you.
They can zoom in to see you mooning the car, because there's that one image of the guy mooning it.
Yeah. But yeah, between Google Earth and you can look at anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Everyone knows everything about everybody.
We just caught him that day.
Right. Well, and that's true too. Like, or also, why would they be using a balloon when there's drones?
Yeah.
I mean, they make drones this big.
Mm-hmm.
If they really wanted to spy on us, there's other more high advanced ways to do it.
For sure.
Not with a freaking hot air balloon.
I know, that was crazy. I think we were out of town. So we weren't in Billings I think we went to White Sulphur that weekend, but seeing like everyone's Facebook and being like,
oh dude, the hysteria.
Oh God, what the hell's going on?
And it wasn't even just that, it was like the whole like 2 weeks after. Every other post on Facebook was a picture of the sky. Like, what is that? It's like, it's nothing. Mm-hmm. It's a cloud. Like, yes.
It's ice on your windshield. I remember looking around like, dude, that's your freaking ice. Like a drip of ice that's frozen on your windshield.
Right.
It's nothing. It's not anything falling from the sky.
And there were a couple, like, weird ones, but I'm like, it's probably nothing. Like, just calm down. Like, yeah, there was a spy balloon, and I understand why some people would get freaked out. But not everything is something.
Exactly.
But that's how everyone was treating it. I was just like, calm down, all right? Like, even if they are spying on us, what the fuck are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Like,
stop them.
Yeah.
I mean, good luck.
Let somebody else, like, that's kind of my rule of thought anymore. It's just like, if I can't control it, somebody else can deal with it. Like, I can worry about it and be stressed out about it, but what good does that do for me?
I got so much other shit to worry about. Might as well save it for that.
Yeah, I mean, if the world's going to come to an end, it's coming to the end for everybody, not just me.
Exactly.
So, no use.
We'll see y'all in hell.
Yeah, no use stressing about it. Well, should we wrap this bad boy up?
Sure.
Right on, brother. Told you before.
God damn, I got to think of something.
All right. Yeah. So, for anybody out there, I always end my podcast with a positive or motivational message from the guest. Usually something that maybe like you've lived by through your life, or something that maybe got you by when you were down, or anything like that, you know?
I guess really for me is just always be myself. I don't know if anyone who knows me from before or who's ever future met me, I don't think you'd ever walk into a room and everyone would be like, that Mark's an asshole. That's one of my things I try not to be. I try to be, friendly with everyone. Give everyone a chance. Don't judge books from the cover, because you don't know what someone's going through or where they've been or what they got going for them in the future. So, just be yourself. Give everyone a smile. Hopefully just giving everyone a smile will help change where we are now and, make a better outlook going forward. So that's it. Just be nice.
Hell yeah, dude. I like that. Right on, brother. Well, do you want to shout out your real estate stuff? Or?
Yeah, I'm a real estate with EXP. So if anyone's looking for a house, be happy to help you. Been in the game for 10 years. Then also, if anyone's looking for a good job, we have a lot of good jobs over at Express Employment. If you're looking for a good employee, we have a lot of great employees. So either way, reach out to me on Facebook. My cell phone's been the same for like 20 years, 406-208-5118. Give me a call, text anytime. If you want to talk, get coffee, grab lunch, I'm more than happy to.
Right on, man. Hey, thanks for coming on.
Appreciate
it was awesome to catch up with you, man. We haven't seen each other in a while. So.
It's been a long time.
And you've been calling to get on the podcast for a while, and
I know.
We finally made it happen. So
I did. And I want to do another. We used to do we did it 1 year, maybe 2 years. The flag football game. I'd love to do that when it gets warmer or something like that. Even kickball, something.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
Yeah,
I need to get more active this summer. So
yeah, I'm 40, so I'm like, I got to try to stay active because I'm not getting any younger.
I'm gonna be 30 this year. So.
Oh, poor you.
Hey, I'll be 40.
Exactly, it's what comes. That's like what my wife said when I told her I didn't like being 40. She was like, but that's what's supposed to happen. You're going to get older. The alternative is you die.
Yeah.
Like, shit, when you put it that way, I guess getting 40 isn't so bad.
Well, when I think about like when I was 20, I'm like, that was forever ago.
No.
Like it feels like 30 showed up real quick, but I'm like, the last 10 years, there's been a lot happening.
Oh, yeah.
So.
You have kids and it just flies by. It's like a blink and it's gone. My oldest drives, works at Chick-fil-A, you know. They're not kids anymore. They're their own damn adult.
Yeah, that's got to be crazy, man.
Yeah, so.
All right, well, we'll definitely have to do it again. We'll do it again.
For sure.
Thanks, everybody, for watching, and don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it.
Just gotta keep on keeping on.